Allie Monroe here with Jake Shapiro at Coors Event Center after Colorado's disappointing loss against Colorado State, 72-58. Jake, what were your thoughts overall?
I mean, you said it. Disappointing. Tad Boyle just said this one really stings, and it does. Colorado needs as many non-conference wins as possible because their non-conference schedule isn't that tough this year. They needed to beat CSU, which would have afforded them the opportunity to lose to a team like Xavier or BYU. Now they're maybe in some trouble when it comes down to resume time in March, but in terms of right now, this said a lot about this basketball team. Tad Boyle has been saying for weeks that our team is not mentally tough enough. Our team is not where it needs to be. That happened again tonight. This team did not show up. It hasn't showed up for a complete game yet, and maybe they only showed up for the first 10 minutes of this game, and still they were a little bit flat. So really poor game all around for the Colorado Buffaloes, and hats off to the Colorado State Rams. They took advantage of it.
They did. Buffs really struggled shooting this tonight. What were your thoughts on that, and what do you think might have been a cause for that?
I mean, the free throw shooting in itself was a joke for Colorado Buffaloes. I think they shot around 52% in the game, and the Colorado State Rams shot, I don't know, they only missed 3 or 4. It
almost
was
100% until the end of the game.
Right, they didn't miss a free throw until there was 2 minutes left, and they were shooting at the line nonstop because Colorado was fouling. So I think this game did come down to free throw shooting, even though Derek White said it didn't. But overall, a poor effort, and that played in the three-point shooting. If Colorado hits a few three-pointers in this game, it might have been a little bit different, but they need to figure out a way to win when those three-pointers aren't falling. Tad Boyle talked about it a little bit, saying that they need to rebound and defend, and those need to be the core principles. They rebounded tonight, they didn't really defend, and they go 1 for 12 from the three-point line in the second half, and they needed to figure out a way to win. That wasn't their three-point shot, and they didn't.
I agree. Derek White played 32 minutes of the game, the most out of every other player. What did you see from him?
He's the best player on the team. He's going to play the most minutes. He's stuffed the stat sheet, and he probably would have played 40 minutes had he not gotten in a little bit of foul trouble. Derek White had some troubles with the turnovers tonight and wasn't as good as he could be defensively, but overall, Derek White was the Buffs' only hope tonight, and it was just too much, the Rams. It was too much for White to overcome.
During the press conference after the game, Tad Boyle talked about how his team needs to learn to win ugly, and we have seen that in the beginning of the season. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you think the Buffs can continue to do that?
I mean, I think that's right. I mean, Tad Boyle is a guy that says we need to hold our opponents under 40% field goal shooting, and we need to go +8 in the rebound margin. Well, they did both of those things tonight, but the Rams shot 39% from the field, so it's not like they did it that well, and they were only +9 in the rebound margin. So they need to figure out a way to win ugly, because these Pac-12 games, especially these road Pac-12 games, they come down to the last 5 minutes, and guys that can hit free throws, guys that can make post shots, guys that can get to the line. Colorado did some of those things, but they didn't execute those things.
A lot of people on Twitter were talking about how this is Tad Boyle's worst team and that they might not make it to the tournament after tonight's performance. What do you have to say about that?
If the team plays like it did tonight the rest of the season, it won't make a postseason tournament in general. But this is a very talented team. The pieces just haven't come together yet, and we're waiting for them to come together. I've had some ETAs from sources in the program that says, you know, it's going to come together late December, early January. Well, I got news for you. You need to get one of these 2 wins against Xavier or BYU, and you need to go win at Portland, because when it comes down to resume time, unless the Buffs win the Pac-12 tournament, they're going to be really struggling for these big-time wins.
Key things the Buffs need to work on this week?
Free throw
or not
shooting.
Even this week. They play Saturday.
Yeah, well, going into Saturday's game, they need to work on free throw shooting, and they need to figure out a way to get mentally more tougher. And Tad Boyle challenged this guy in particular, George King. George King needs to figure out who he is as a basketball player right now, because he is absolutely lost.
Check out the rest of our post-game content on bsndenver.com. For Jake Shapiro, I'm Allie Monroe, BSN Buffs.